Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Not even going to waste any time. I never actually had this one, so that's good. That's good. I'm not even sponsored, and that's good. So, getting into this episode, you know what? Let's start off with Michael and Jax. Because when I finished doing the review yesterday, I was sitting there reading through the comments and stuff. And I did give one perspective about how Jax is a jackass for him sitting there blackmailing Michael. Which is true. But here's the thing. Michael caved. And to be honest, he should have just called it bluff. You know? He really should have. He should have just been like, you know what? Why don't you go to the hospital and tell him. Tell him why the man is on his, on his dying bed, pretty much. Let's see how well that's gonna go. You're able to sleep like a baby after that, right? He should have called his. He should have called his bluff. He really should have. But instead, he didn't, and he let Jax pretty much blackmail him into having Nina visit, more visits with Wiley. So we pretty much just leave off. Well, we start off where yesterday's episode ended. Michael calling Nina, sitting there saying, hey, listen, you can come back and see Wiley whenever you want. We'll go over some guidelines and, we'll make it happen. Now, Nina's on the other end of the phone like, okay. Because the whole time she's sitting there like, she wants to stay and be with Sonny, but she wants to sit there and spend time with Wiley. Now, for me, I feel like that's kind of a no-brainer. I really, really do. I don't even know what her plan is anymore. I don't know if she's just doing it because she wants Sonny, if she's doing it to get back at Carly. I have no idea. I feel like whatever her plans were just kind of just went off the rails. But, yeah. So she's doing all this hesitation and she finally agrees and she'll be there shortly. Michael gets off the phone, and man, does he let Jax have it. And it was great. It was really great. Listen, I agree with a lot of people in the comment section as far as him just calling his bluff and be like, alright, cool, do it. Instead, he just caved and, let Nina, which he's not even 100% sure of, is she okay enough to be with Wiley, just whatever. Because it's going to protect Willow and Chase and all the other crap. So you pretty much just kind of, a lot of ways, just kind of sacrifice your son to a woman that you don't even know is stable enough to even, be with him. So I understand that. But he gave Jax, he was like, listen, after he really just reamed him out pretty much, he was just like, so you pretty much destroyed your relationship with me. You sacrificed your relationship with me and your family. Jocelyn, Carly, you did all that just to get back in Nina's good graces. So I hope it's worth it. And Jax is standing like, oh, what are you talking about? We're not family anymore? Like, I'm just sitting there like, you can't be this stupid. Either you can't be this stupid or naive. Because even Michael was like, so what, you thought I was just going to sit there and just smile about it and just let you blackmail me and there's just no consequences? He pretty much just threw him out. I was like, yo, I'm pretty much done with you. Jax tries to give the whole speech of, well, if you ever need me, I'm going to be there for you. And Michael was just like, and who's going to be there for you? Because you practically just sacrificed the family, the people that you've known for years, for Nina Reeves. I don't even understand. I want to sit there and say, I don't understand what he was thinking. Being a man, I'm like, bro, you can't be just sitting there just like... Because part of me, I'm sitting there thinking, it was like, so you were just thinking with the wrong head, right? Like, that's really what it was? You were just thinking with the wrong head? Like, her? Which, by the way, Nina calls him. Just to... Nina calls him. And, she's like, I get to spend some more time with Wiley, and, I'm so happy and stuff like that. Did you have anything to do with it? Jax doesn't confirm or deny it. But he's like, when you get back in town, hopefully I can sit there and see you. Nina was like, I'm not sure if that's possible. So, you sacrifice years of history, years of being with your family, years of knowing Michael as a stepson. And the payoff was what? Because honestly, to tell you the truth, even at the end of the day, even if we were thinking with the wrong head, how's it going to be waking up, looking at yourself in the mirror, knowing that you practically threw your family away? And for what? I just... Nina gets off the phone. She's talking to Sonny. And, she tells him that, I get to spend some time with my grandson. So, Sonny's like, well, I guess he'd be leaving. And Nina's like, oh, I'll be back and I'm not living there. It's like she wants to have her cake and eat it too. We all know how well that's going to end. Well, it's going to end great for me because I'm going to have some cake. But, she wants to sit there and try to keep this, whatever this relationship with Sonny, and spend time with Wiley, and her feeling guilty about being with Sonny, but at the same time she wants what she wants. And towards the end, she kisses him. Well, she kisses him, and that was a rough scene to watch. But she does that, she leaves. At first, when Sonny was like, you gotta take me with you, Nina was just like, oh, I want you spoiling my plans. That'll ruin my whole plans. But it was really just some sauce, and she starts laughing. I'm like, I'm just counting down the days. I'm counting down the days until when your world just falls apart. Because that'll be great. I have a good laugh. And some cake at her expense. And I'm pretty sure everyone that's joining me will do the same. Now let's talk about... really good. Let's talk about Chase and Willow for a minute, because once again, Willow's about to sit there and tell the truth. About to sit there and just lay it all out, because she's feeling guilty and guilty and guilty every single time that she's seen him. She's been feeling guilty. So she's about to tell him. Finn is like, I got the cure. He's like, I got the cure. And I felt like he really didn't sit there and give Liz any credit for that. He was just like, oh, I was inspired. Well, inspired by who? Like, okay, sure, whatever, bro. So Jackie comes down. They have this cure. They're gonna sit there and use Jackie's DNA or her blood or whatever to sit there and, put the cure into Chase. So the whole time, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay, Willow, this is your chance. You got a cure. There's nothing stopping you from telling the truth. You can tell the truth now. They talk for a little bit. She doesn't wind up telling the truth. They give him the drug. Michael's there. They got, they have a little bit of smack or whatever about baseball season coming up and stuff. And then things just go left really fast. He has his nosebleed. Then he has a seizure. At this point, I'm just like, what the I didn't even know what to say at that point. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of reeling from that. I'm just like, I don't really, what? How long are they actually going to keep Chase sick for? Like, are they actually going to kill him off? Like, what is their plan? I don't really understand. I don't want them to kill off Chase. I actually like Chase. So I hope they don't kill him off. But, I don't know. Maybe they'll probably put him in a coma for a little bit. I mean, let's be honest. In real life, his child was just born. I'm pretty sure he wants to sit there and spend a lot of time. And, so I'm pretty sure that might be a reason of why he didn't get better right away or whatever. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out more tomorrow. Maybe they'll just put him in a medical-induced coma so he can have some time off. Now let's talk about Maxi, Anna, Lizzo, Britt. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. And Anna. I knew I forgot someone. So Anna is going to sit there and look for Peter because for some odd reason Maxie was like, don't look for the baby or whatever. I'm not really too sure why. I don't really understand what's going on with this part of the storyline. I really, really don't. Because when Maxie was like, have you found Peter yet? Anna was like, well, the security, there's some blips in the security as far as the videos are concerned. And I'm just like, so wait. Did somebody move the body? This is what I'm sitting there trying to understand. Because his body was last seen on the stairwell. Now, I'm pretty sure Liz was like, let somebody else find him, let them sit there and deal with it. You gotta sit there and carry your brother. So I'm just like, why didn't they not find him? So, that means that they moved the body. What, is just not going to talk about it for a couple of days? We're just supposed to be in, suspense? Limbo? What is going on? I don't really understand that. But, at some point, Britt winds up talking to, Maxie. Now, for the life of me, when I was sitting there writing notes, I just kept putting question marks, because I was just like, did she not know about, she knew about the switch, right? It's something weird happened, and granted, that's before I actually started drinking any of those. Something weird happened where it almost seemed like Britt just was not in the know as far as Maxie's plan. Maxie, apparently, she's not going to tell Britt about the switch with Peter or anything like that, which I don't understand why, because if this is about her safety, she was willing to sit there and deliver the baby. She was willing to do that part. So she was going to be in the plan anyway. I don't really understand why she's not letting her know. I really don't understand why she's not letting her in on the plan. She was sitting there talking. She was like, well, I have to believe that my baby's safe and stuff like that. And I'm just like, why are you not telling her the plan? Because if you're worried about her safety, you didn't seem like you were worried about her safety before when you let her knew about the plan in the begin with. So, I don't really understand that. I don't understand why she's not actually telling her about this plan. I really don't get it. But for some odd reason, she is choosing to... I understand maybe Anna, to some extent, but Britt just makes no sense. Now, Lizzo and Anna have a bonding experience. Somebody in the comment section, can you please tell me, is that a real thing? They just go in this room and they just start breaking shit? Is that a real thing? Does that really happen? Because that's literally what happens in this scene. And you see some, real, I want to sit there and say antiques, but I do remember actually having a VCR. But, there's, some VCRs, there's some, phones, there's, a big screen TV. I'm like, why are you smashing that thing? But whatever. They get in this room, you start breaking a bunch of stuff. And, Anna feels a lot better. And it was kind of an enjoyable scene, but I also felt like it was kind of like, we're really going to sit there and spend a good 2 minutes doing a musical montage of them just breaking stuff? Is that really how we should be sitting there spending our time? Okay, alright, sure. So after that, whatever stress that she was having, seemed like it got kind of relieved, and, they seemed like they kind of were on somewhat better terms. Even, Lisa was like, you need to sit there and find yourself again, in order to bring down Peter and find a baby and all this other stuff like that. I feel like there's a bit of a hiccup in this whole storyline, because I don't understand what's the reason for them hiding this body. I don't really get it. um, I'm pretty sure they'll come up with some BS excuse, but I mean, there's really no fingerprints. I'm pretty sure the doctors, they can wipe off fingerprints. You could just sit there and be like, hey, he's gone, whatever, and they'll come up with it in time. But here's the thing. If they find the body, then this whole switch, not that it'll be pointless, but, you know, it'll be like, okay, we don't need to sit there and switch these babies anymore. So we can kind of just get back to, you know, I'll have my baby back and you can sit there and deal with Valentine and whatever mess that you're going to get into, that's on you. But they're not showing Peter's body. So at this point, he's in the win. So there's a reason why, you know, this switch needs to, you know, keep happening and whatever. But I feel like it's just... I feel like there's just something off about it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I feel like there's just something off about it. Last scene I'm going to sit there and talk about is the Ava and Nicholas scene. Because they call on Dante. They're still sitting there convinced that it's Ryan. Even though he is guarded practically 24/7. He's in a vegetative state. They're just like, it's him. It has to be him. Or he's communicating with someone else. I'm just like, you know, Ava, half of the town doesn't like you. And Nicholas, well, I'm pretty sure you have a bunch of enemies because, well, you're a dick. So why are we just so super sure that it's Ryan? And Dante brings up a good point. Dante's like, listen, it may not even be about you, Ava. It may be about you. You know, it may be about Nicholas. You know? So and it's so stupid. And granted, this is something that they do in shows, not just soap operas, but just shows in general. Where, and a lot of times they make the characters come across as kind of dumb or slow. You know, like they're both just like a light bulb just went off in their heads and they were just like, oh, maybe it's not about me. Maybe it's about him. Maybe it's not Ryan. And it's just like, why is this taking you so long to actually get from point A to point B? Like, why did that take... It's literally like it took like a couple of scenes before they even felt like it was possible for it to be someone else other than Ryan. And that's when they were like, okay, maybe it's a copycat of Ryan. I'm like, okay, sure. Ava, you know, you did have a life before, I guess you were in Port Charles. You know, she wasn't a mob. Maybe you should sit there and take a couple pieces of paper and just run down the amount of people that may actually want to get back at her. Now, Dante does say something that's kind of dickish. I don't remember exactly what it was because I was too, kind of annoyed at the level of stupidity that both Nicholas and Ava had. But, whatever it is, it seems like Dante's not all there yet, you know. I don't know, maybe his time, you know, doing undercover and stuff like that, just being more rough around the edges, he forgot what it's like to actually be, you know, as far as being, not as far as being a cop, but as far as, like, being human when he's being a cop. So, he seems like he still actually has some adjustments to, go through. I think that's about it. I have to sit there and say, Jax is somebody who I'm just not understanding right now. Because Michael, you can see on the look in his face, he's hurt, he's angry. And it's like Jax doesn't understand the fact that he blackmailed his own stepson in order to sit there and pretty much get back his girl. You know? Michael was literally sitting there painting a picture of, you literally just destroyed your relationship with this family. You know, just to get back in her good graces. And Jax can't even see it. Jax is just like, well, you can't see that, you know, more love for Wiley is better, and, you know, it's wrong for, you know, you to keep, you know, Wiley away from Nina. And I'm just like, bro, did you really just did not get the point where he just said. I'm literally standing, I'm just like, yo, what is wrong with this guy? Is he drunk? Like, I don't understand that. I'm literally just baffled by just how clueless Jax was in that whole scene. And so when Michael was like, yo, listen, I practically, you know, you're pretty much just not going to be a part of this family anymore. Or you're not part of my family. You know, for the sake of Jocelyn, I'm not going to say anything, but me and you, we're done. And he looks with surprise on his face, like he really didn't see that coming. And I'm like, you can't be this stupid. So, arrogance? Maybe? I don't really know. I'm still just, I'm just dumbfounded. That's pretty much the only thing I can sit there and say. With that being said, I think that's pretty much about it. If I missed anything, please write it down in the comment section below. I mean, I know there was some moments with Britt and Liesl, and then like all four of them was in a room, and just, it's kind of a lot, but it didn't really go anywhere. To be honest, Maxi is still not letting Liesl or Britt for that matter, know about her plans, and I don't really understand why. But this whole Peter being dead thing, or his body being moved, so that way, you know, Maxi can get some closure and kind of like get back on her life. As far as like raising her daughter, it's like they're trying to expand the story, but it just seems like it doesn't really make a lot of sense. And I know I can't be the only person that just feels that way. With that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. See you in the next video.